Here's Jeff's block that let the fire out in Tulsa. You can see it pulled the studs out of the back of the pan. It pulled that stud out of the... So we'll have to helicoil and thread insert some stuff in there. But as you can see, it just torched the head. All the rods are intact. Everything looks good down there. It just pooched through the head gasket and lit shit on fire. Caused a big boom. So I'm going to get this off here. Jeff happens to be in town, and he's going to see if he can fix this oil pan, being it was brand new when it went on and only made a few licks before it let fire out where it's not supposed to. Alright everybody, we are in Boise, so that's where I live, but anyways, we're racing again with Jeff in Boise at No Prep Kings, and we're in the staging lanes on Friday. We're going to run up against Jerry Bird here, first grudge hit, see if we can go A to B and, with the different combo that we tested in Tulsa, which I think is going to work pretty good here at a little bit higher altitude than a lot of the racetracks. So we're here having fun again, and hopefully first run goes well. This next week I'll have time. We freshened one engine and brought it out to the track today. We finished it this morning. We'll do some videos on the carnage of the one where it pooched the head gasket, torched the head and the block. We'll show you some of that hopefully in the next week or two when I get to tearing it apart. Morning everybody, it is day 2 here at No Prep Kings Boise, and yesterday went pretty well for us. We made only 2 hits. We had a little bit of trouble with the throttle blade, which I'll show you here in a minute, but first pass was a little slow out of the hole. Needed to change the stator and the transmission. Torque converters with full transmission, change stator in the torque converter, and when Jeff let off, it had bent the throttle blade open. So we had to pull that out apart, bend it back in place, put it back together, went up there for a second pass, which was a ripper. It ran really good on the second pass, but it did the same thing. It bent the throttle blade. We think we know why it did it, but the throttle blades are made out of brass. So a big shout out to Aaron Sasser of Lasasco. At midnight last night, he happened to be out here at the track. I gave him a call, and we went to his shop and drew out a new throttle blade on his laser jet and cut 2 new throttle blades out on his laser last night, and then got back up here and got the car put back together and working about 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyways, so a really big shout out to Aaron and his family for doing that for us. It was awesome. So I'll flip the camera around here and kind of show you what we were talking about. So really, this is the throttle blade that's in it, or was in it, and they're made out of brass, and you can see where I beat it back straight, but it bent it at about 25-30 degrees, and then it did it again, and I think the temperature or something maybe annealed the brass or whatnot, so we went ahead and we made 2 of them, but we made another one out of stainless steel, and we'll see if this holds up a little bit better. We're going to try it on our first pass, but we made a couple of them just in case we can't figure it out. But anyways, hopefully we get a good chip draw and can go some rounds today. All right, everybody, we are already left. I got to get up there to the staging lanes, but we made it to first round. Had a really close race, and he was moving around a little bit out there, and he didn't lift, and did an awesome job of driving and got it down through there. But it bent the throttle blade again. We still haven't figured out why it's not releasing the boost pressure or whatever's going on there. So we got it tore apart, put another blade in it, because I made a couple last night, and we're going to try something a little bit different this time, but got it all put back together, and we'll go up there and see if we can't get more rounds in today. So on to round number 2. Alright folks, so we've got Jeff's motor that leaked fire in Tulsa torn apart.
The big fireball.
Big fireball.
That's
so
it right there.
That's what it did to the block. So I'm showing you the damage now. We're going to clean this thing up. We're going to put it in the bake oven and warm it up a couple hundred degrees, get the sleeve out, and then get it warm, because Jeff is killing time, so he decided he wanted to tear it apart and weld today.
I'm going to weld it up.
Yeah, so he's going to weld that up.
Anybody ever had a question about if it's a real big block Chevy? I guess there's controversy about the H block versus this block or whatever. I don't know.
This thing
It's even got a fuel pump boss on it.
It does. This thing is as big block Chevy basic architecture as you can get. It is not that far. These trick flow blocks are awesome though. They got really thick decks, and it's probably the most robust aluminum block cast that I've ever seen. So they work pretty good for what we're doing. But anyways, we're gonna put this thing in the wash, get it cleaned up, and then put it in the oven and warm it up, yard the sleeve, and let Jeff do his thing on welding. Alright, so Jeff got that all welded up. This thing's still really hot. We had it in our oven, which helps the welding and get the sleeves out. So now we'll just have to do all the machine work, and we'll get this thing back in service after torching through the head and the block. And I just think it was a head gasket failure. Nobody did really anything wrong. We just because it didn't pick on the piston or anything. So we'll get it all machined back up and try it again. Hey everybody, I know I'm like really late getting this video out here. I've been insanely busy as always, it seems like, especially this summer. But anyways, we we finally figured out what was wrong and what was causing it to bend the throttle blades. We got that taken care of, but because it was doing that, we think it had already caused some damage to the engine. And then when they went to Denver, they struggled, did a motor swap. I wasn't able to go to Denver. I was in Port Angeles at a sprint boat race. I had 3 boats to tune there. So Ryan went by himself and worked his butt off and helped them. They ended up doing a motor swap, and engine's doing good. But the combo that we really wanted to run in Denver, unfortunately, we just had some issues and it didn't get to run like it should. But we'll keep at it. We're going to put that same combo back together, higher compression. It's not the compression that's causing the issue. We found it in the intake, and we've got that corrected now. And we're going to make some more corrections with that. We weren't kind of part of that in the beginning. We found some stuff. So anyways, have an awesome time working with those guys. Jeff and Jeff Jr. are awesome. They're really good at what they do. They're a lot of fun to be around. It's a good time. And anyways, appreciate y'all for watching. I'll have some more on the teardown. We also got the head welded up. We haven't started machining any of that. We've been just too busy, and Jeff's got a couple engines, so we'll get to it as soon as we can. But we've got some other racers that need to get to the track. And like I say, last weekend I was in Port Angeles, and I ended up working on 3 different boats. They're all running the same class, so I was really busy. I didn't film any of it. I did see that Cletus McFarland put up a video today, and I happened to be in that a little bit. I met them that morning. It's the first time I've ever looked at their boat. I was there working on somebody else's, but out of the same camp. Ryan Rogers, River Rogers, drives that boat, and let's see, and Leighton Lilly's boat. We're working with those guys, trying to get their combinations better and maybe build them some new combinations to make them even faster. Those boats are starting to really rip, and Cletus is part of that group, and so I lended a hand in jetting and tuning on that, and had a really good time with those guys. They only know me as Justin. None of those people know me as really the Angry Hornet, so it was kind of cool to see that people recognize me even though they just called me Justin. So anyways, thanks for everybody for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll keep trying to get them out there. We're just been insanely busy, working a lot of hours trying to get everybody's equipment back up and running. But appreciate you.